It's individuals drawn together by the Lord for a common purpose, to serve Christ in whatever way we're called to serve.
The Basilian Fathers were founded by 10 diocesan priests, 10 different personalities, and we relish, cherish, and encourage the variety of personalities, idiosyncrasies, and unique approaches to ministry and religious life.
Well, one of my greatest joys is living with a variety of people for 58 years. I never studied physics, I never studied geography, I never studied economics, but I have sat at table with people who have, and I listen to them. And the broad experience of wisdom that came from
That as I come to know them, and I come to know their strengths and their foibles, I come to know the people who really inspire me, and the people who frustrate me, and me to them in return, do we still have a sense of being in community together? Do we still have a sense of belonging together on this journey to the Lord?
Every house I lived in has been incredibly different, and every ministry has had a diversity of opportunities. And so I think to be able to nail down what a day as a Basilian looks like, to my great pleasure, is actually, it's rather...
I see community life not so much tied to apostolates. Certainly in the old days was that university guys lived with university guys. High school men lived with high school men, and retired guys lived in retirement houses.
We pray both morning prayer and evening prayer together. All the priests in the community pray together. We have our common supper together.
So there's a structure to each day. And when you live in a community, it helps you to maintain that relationship with God, because sometimes when you wake up at 6:45 in the morning, you're not too excited about going to Mass or saying morning prayer if last night was late. But because other people are going to be there, and you have a responsibility to the community to do your part to help live the spiritual life, then you go.
Simply coming back to a community, particularly after a difficult meeting or after an awkward appointment or something. If something has been difficult, just coming back into a community that, as I mentioned earlier, is my religious family, is a tremendous sense of support.
The community life in a parish is often caught up in the schedules and in the activities of the parish, and so we often see each other on the fly. There's a real strong sense, every place I've lived, of support of one another, of appreciation of the work someone's doing, and sometimes even a challenge to do it a little bit differently or better.
So some days the confreres carry me, as it were, and some days I help carry them. So there's like a system of support. It's like you create a subculture within the greater culture of the world. Like we create with our house a culture of prayer and of religious life within a greater secular culture.
I see community life as basically living more or less like a family lives. We're obviously not a family, but there are some similarities, and we cook for each other, support each other, and pray with each other on a daily basis.
Had it been left to me, I wouldn't have chosen many of the appointments or positions that I was put into. And yet, in each of them, whether they've been very difficult or perhaps ran a bit more smoothly, in every one of them I've encountered Christ.